Hello everybody, welcome back to another Final Fantasy stream. So last time we basically just did all of the crafter Wachumeqimeqi quests, because yeah, I wanted to do those. And we also accepted the first quests from the Gatherer and Fisher quests. Basically just up to the point, or we did the first two quests, or first quest for each of them, and then accepted the first or the second quest for each of them, so that we could actually go out and gather items. And as it turns out, I can't gather the other things before I actually get the other quests in the series, which is a bit annoying, because I would have liked to actually just gather all the items that I need to gather, but can't do that. So we're gonna have to do some specifically fishing today in order to finish up some of these. But yeah, I guess we'll just first up the background music a little bit.
You can find the staples I require in Urkopish.
Yeah, we need to hand in some items, and I actually don't remember. I think I might have enough wiggle room. This to not overcap. But yeah, I basically went out and got the Apothecary Stables. No wait. Oh, that's gonna. Okay, now I think about it.
That was quick. Thank you for your. Deliver
that, and then I need to go and spend some of these scripts. Yeah, the plan today is basically just complete the Gatherer and the Fisher Wachumeqimeqi quests. And depending on how long that takes, maybe I'll do some just normal quests in some of the like normal trail areas, because I do kind of still need to level up some jobs, and they scale. The like all the job or all the quests basically scale to my level, so I should in theory be able to just yeah, do any do any quest in any area and just get the XP needed. Get some XP at least. Alright, let's go and finish up with this.
You can. That was quicker than I expected. Let's see. Oh my, this delivery is better than I could have imagined. Almost too good. In fact, my customers might come to take such quality for granted. Heh. Thank you for your hard work. It's always comforting to see my shelves stocked.
Okay, I'm guessing the other guy is also gonna show up.
I must say, there's no greater reassurance than knowing I have wares to sell. Even though this was but a trial run, you conducted yourself flawlessly. Truth be told, when I first began this endeavor, I didn't imagine I would sell such a wide array of goods. But health is a goal we all share, and there are any number of ways to pursue it. Take maca, for instance. It thrives in the harsh climes of Urkopish, accumulating nutrients from its unique environment. It has been a favorite since time immemorial for its nutritional value and invigorating properties. Springstone, on the other hand, is a type of volcanic rock. It retains heat rather well, so after a bit of polishing and warming, you can place it in your pocket or directly on the skin. Even in hotter regions, it's used to relieve stiff muscles and troublesome aches. I know you came to me seeking gainful employment, but you must place your own health first and foremost. If anything ever ails you, I would welcome your custom with open arms. Speaking of which, you haven't seen Ablo, have you? I hope he hasn't gotten lost. Judging by his story, he arrived in Tyrol only shortly before visiting my shop. His confident stride suggested he knew where he was going, but how could he? I am returned. Master Shenyi, I hope my deliveries meet with your satisfaction. Well, I suppose there was no need to worry. Yes, these are good. They'll certainly sell. Forgive my imposition, but have you been to Tyrol before? Or did you hire someone to guide you? Neither. This is my first time in Tyrol, and I have no money for a guide. Yet this city is home to a great many people. If you ask around for information, you can piece together any puzzle in time. That is, of course, if you have the patience to do so. Does this mean you've reached a decision regarding my employment? Indeed. You did well today. So, for the time being, I have no objection to continuing our business relationship. And of course, I'd like to continue working with you as well, Shauna. However, I understand you aren't the type to stay in one place over long. Let's keep it simple, shall we? Stop by whenever you have time for a few tasks, and I shall recompense you accordingly. Then it's settled. Don't be a stranger, Shauna. Shauna. Forgive my rudeness for not introducing myself sooner. I am Ablo, of Kugima village. I hope to learn much from someone of your experience. Just as I hope to learn about the Shitana from you, Master Shenyi. May we all prosper under your tutelage. Well, I may prove to be a worthless teacher in that regard, but I suppose I can try. As for our mutual prosperity, that depends on us. That is to say, we need to get selling. My customers will be pleased to see my stocks replenished at last.
Okay.
Shenyi is pleased with your efforts. He now considers you a greenhorn gatherer.
Okay. And we can next have the next quest, but first let me just go ahead and hand in these.
The waters of High Tide Harbor are teeming with king puffers. And they all love crimson lugworms. Flawless. The spines of true monarchy. Passioning no doubt puff with pleasure. In making your first success, deliver the fish. Behold the majesty of a king. Though don't let his winsome roundness fool you, king puffers are notorious net wreckers. A menace, dead or alive. What an incredible specimen. I've never seen anything like it. Then, may I partake? Of course, lad. These are your fish, to use however you like. You said you're pulling magics out of them, right? How's that done, exactly? By eating every piece of it, spines and all.
Okay, that's not how we learned blue magic in terms of gameplay. Ah.
Mean and no disrespect, but you'd best rethink that notion, lad. You try to eat that fish and it'll gut you from the inside. It's the only way I can acquire my magics. Rest assured, I've come prepared. As I mentioned previously, my only grasp of Wachumeqi magics is upon the slippery and scaled. Where the rest of my brethren must master many techniques, I must master many fish. The method is simple: I eat a fish in its entirety, and then I can call upon it at any time. Most Wachumeqi can only summon a single species, you see. The more I eat a particular fish, the stronger our spiritual affinity grows, so I am prepared to consume as much as necessary. To this end, I have spent many a moon studying the culinary arts, that I might prepare any and all fish for complete and pleasurable consumption. Any fish, even fancy ones. I sell the occasional anchovy for my customers to munch on while they browse my better beauties, but if folks are only looking for a feast, then we make them the fanciest feasts they've ever seen. Passionine, you've got to teach me how to cook. In exchange, me and Shauna will find any fish you need for your rite of passage. You'll have more trials to overcome than one spongy old toad, eh? Indeed I will. Thank you, Donuhanu. I couldn't ask for a happier arrangement. Likewise, my lad. You'll be needing a kitchen, won't you? Or did you have a place in mind? No place in particular, I admit. My only aim was finding a suitable fish, the rest I assumed would fall into place. Well, you're welcome to use old Donuhanu's kitchen in the resplendent quarter. Nothing glamorous, but more glamorous than nothing. Your generosity is limitless. Then, without further ado, allow me to prepare these wonderful puffers you have caught me. And there you have it. A king puffer soup garnished with deep-fried spines. That was divine. Why, you really ate those spines right up. You caught some wonderful specimens. Already I can feel their energies taking root within me. I must familiarize myself with new fish before I can use them in battle. If you'll excuse me, I will find some quiet corner in which to do so. Of course, of course. May your king serve you royally. Now, I suppose we wait. Fancy a quick fish? Donuhanu is pleased with your efforts. He now considers you a friendly fish finder.
I know I've only been streaming for like 20-ish minutes, but I'm gonna have to quickly switch over to a small break, because I could see that my dad just called me, and I gotta basically call him back and figure out what it is he wanted to talk about. So yeah, I'm just gonna set on the background music, ambience, and yeah, just gonna mute myself. I'm expecting maybe like anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, honestly. That's what the phone call can be. Maybe shorter, maybe longer, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully I'll be back somewhat soon. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. Okay, I'm back. That was like 30 minutes. Jesus. Okay. So yeah, my dad just kept on talking. Yeah, I did not expect it to be that long of a conversation, but yeah, did manage to get a little bit of research done as well regarding the fishing stuff. So yeah, let's there you go. Let's continue scaling up demand.
Passionine should be back at any moment, I'd wager. At least, I hope so. Apologies for the wait. I believe I've mastered my command over the King Puffer phantasms. Their spines were able to pierce a wooden mannequin with ease, they should go right through a giant toad. My rite of passage will demand much of me, however. I will need an arsenal of fish before attempting it. Among my marks will be a gargantuan tortoise with a shell as hard as stone. Tell me, Donuhanu, do you know of a fish sturdy enough to combat such a foe? There's no fish sturdier than the Wachumeqimeqi. Their scales are as good as armor, if armor were as good as their scales. You can find them in waters, Hanu, and they can't resist a honeybee on a hook. Off you go now, Shauna. To Kozamauka with you. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate your help.
Okay. Apparently what I need to get for some of the other fish are also the cactuar jig. I don't have that on me. Okay.
Good evening, Shauna. Are you here for more work? I could certainly use the help. Thank you. Having another deft hand at my disposal will speed things along.
How is Uvlo getting on? Has Uvlo adjusted to the life into the Yolan? How is he going on?
He's doing quite well, all things considered. The only hurdle to speak of has been his complete lack of funds. He couldn't even afford to lodge himself. He assured me that he has no qualm sleeping under the stars, but I can't very well have my employees camping in the wilds like common vagabonds. In the end, I invited him to live with me. He may not always think ahead, but it's plain that in all other respects he's quite thorough. He's neat and organized, has never once been late, and is ever quick to ask questions when something confounds him. I suppose this is a natural consequence of his upbringing. He said he never lacked for mentors growing up. A much different life than the one I led. The men of my people spend much of their time alone, and as a result many of us develop habits more lax than not, myself included. Even so, I find his scrupulous attitude refreshing. Is there work to be done? Just so, Uvlo. If you're finished taking stock, I would ask that you accompany Shauna to gather a few more things to sell. Of course. Working with someone more experienced than myself is always a pleasure. Good, good. Today will be very similar to the last time. I want you to bring me more of my popular products, namely, those that benefit the soul. Firstly, cuttings from a fragrant tree that is said to purify the body of toxins. Secondly, a type of amethyst that's treasured in Yokturul for its purported ability to calm troubled spirits. While usage of these items differs slightly depending on the customer's cultural practices, they are generally thought to ward off evil humors accumulated in the mind, body, and soul. Fascinating. Wood and stones. I thought health to be the realm of medicine and alchemy. It makes me wonder what hidden powers the objects arrayed here might possess. Of course, I only sell products of proven repute. But even that is no guarantee that an item which positively affects one person will do the same for another. Some even purchase goods based solely on the fact that they are pleasing to the eye. Salves take many forms, as I've learned. That explains the sheer variety. Do you travel the continent in search of new goods? Aha, not quite. I depend on gatherers such as yourselves, mostly. That, and a handful of trusted merchants. I dare not leave the shop unattended for long, you see. And, well, I have my reasons for not often venturing beyond the city's gates. But enough of that, yes. There's work to be done. You can find what I need in the northern region of XIV. As always, the higher the quality of your delivery, the better your reward shall be. I would like to test my hand at collecting both. Shauna, I hardly suspect you require any practice, so I trust you will decide which task better suits your skills.
Okay, let me go ahead and get some of those baits. I think I put some of them in here. Got some honeybees. I don't have the cactus tower though. Where could I get that? That is available from Vigalja in Turiolal. I would not be surprised if that is possibly over there. Possibly like one of these two. Could also. It's not that one actually. That one I know is the Huntmark trader. There they are. Did I have? Nope, don't have any of them. Let's just get 3 of them. And let's see, let's head to. Let me actually see here. Wachumeqimeqi. Alright, so I need 6 of them. And I might as well just go for the max collectability on them. Probably won't do that on the fishing ones though, because that is way more of a hassle. I only need like 600 collectability. Forgot about that. Okay, that's 4. Okay, and 6. there then. And I have no idea what actually to aim for in terms of the fish itself. Let me actually look here. Oh yeah, this doesn't have any info on the bite timers. Well, I guess I can just like catch anything that basically bites. I also need to make sure to remember to put on collector's glove, because otherwise I won't get anything. Nice. That's one. Identical cast. I get another one. This is honestly the main reason why I would have wanted to just collect all these things, like ahead of the stream of me doing these, simply because this just takes some time. So yeah, I kind of would have wanted to basically catch these before, but unfortunately you can't catch them unless you have the quest. Or gather the items without the quest, which is a little annoying. Okay, I feel like 400 collectability is probably closer to the rate that you need, or the amount of collectability you need in order to actually get the bigger reward, but I'm not gonna bother too much with that. I think I managed to do it with the pufferfish before, or for the previous one, but that was because I did it like off stream. So in those cases I would probably have gone for it. In this one, okay, that's gonna be the last one. Forgot that I was still in the fishing pose. Oh yeah, I almost forgot actually. The patch notes for patch 7.1 has actually been released. I gotta say, some of the things in there I am pretty happy about. It's mainly just smaller things, but one thing that I'm very excited for is the fact that soon, or in patch 7.1, they're gonna change it so that you can start buying like more than just 99 items. You'll be able to buy 999. That extra digit of like to the number is so nice, because now that means I can basically buy a stack of items instead of buying 99 like multiple times and then needing to slightly adjust the amount. This has been something that I have wanted for years in this game, especially after I started selling submarine fuel to a friend of the FC. Having to basically buy 10 stacks of that stuff, where I can only buy 99 of each, and I need what is that actually equal to? 10 stacks of 999. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff that I need to buy. Let me actually quickly check. 999 times 10 divided by 99. I basically had to buy around 101, make 101 purchases in order to get all of that. It took so much time, and it basically spammed the entire chat log instead of just only 10 times. That is a thing I'm excited for. Plus, they're also going to be, I think it was something we saw during the live letter, but I'm also excited for the new interior stuff. Did find out though that it's going to apparently clear. Like when you basically change the interior, it's going to basically just take all of the furniture and put it in storage. That I find is a bit annoying. Especially because I don't have a lot of storage. So it probably won't allow me to do that. So that's annoying. Kind of wish they would just allow you to change the entire thing and it just would clear, or just wouldn't remove anything. It would just keep everything in the house and then you could adjust afterwards. But eh.
The Wachumeqimeqis we need should be swimming in waters, Hanu. Cast in some honeybees, and soon you'll be swimming in Wachumeqimeqis.
Yeah, 388 is what I would have to, in terms of collectability, in order to get the max amount. So yeah, only 2 of them actually get the max reward.
Firm.
Yeah.
Very firm, indeed. If I didn't know better, I'd say you just handed me solid ore. What do you think, Passionine? Shauna outdid herself, if you ask me. By neither beak nor talon, as we say in OK Hanu, nothing cracks a Wachumeqimeqi without its say-so. Perfect. I dare say I shall need a chisel. Just look at all this plump meat. Enough for me to get the energies I need, and then much more. Would you both care for a bite? The soft parts, here. As rich as any terrestrial game, wouldn't you say? What's more, the shell serves as a natural seal during frying, trapping its subtle flavors inside. You really know you're cooking, Passionine. I've never ventured far beyond a hot grill and sprinkle of salt myself, but having tasted your pleco all but proves that for every fancy fish there's an equally fancy recipe. My, that smells delicious. Your fish wouldn't happen to be for sale, would it? I came to market on another errand, but that aroma is simply to die for. My apologies, ma'am, but that fish is already spoken for. Nonsense. I have partaken all that I require, so you are welcome to the rest. As for the recipe, it's really quite simple. First, you shall need a small chisel.
Small chisel, that's still like, okay, yeah, sure, that's easy for cooking.
It's workin', Shauna. The people are perusing our pretties. I never gave much thought to recipes, but now I see they can sell a fish all on their own. And the more fish passioning masters, the more recipes we'll have to win new customers. Let's both keep our skills sharp, lass. There's no tellin' what passioning we'll need next. Donuanu is delighted with your efforts. He now considers you a firm fish finder.
Okay.
Wares which cater to our spiritual needs are popular amongst customers old and new. I would have you gather the finest of them from Wachumeqimeqi. You've left me speechless once again. I'm almost afraid to examine your delivery for fear of tarnishing its beauty. I shall have to maintain a delicate touch. This is more than suitable. Good work, Shauna. You're quite good at this, I must admit. How many hours do you reckon you've spent searching for the Earth's finest bounties? I am returned. Wood cuttings and amethysts. I hope they are up to your discerning standards. Welcome back, Ublo. Let's have a look. Oh, my. Well, I can certainly sell the wood cuttings as they are. But these amethysts, they're almost flawless. Where did you find such a rich vein? I am something of an expert in the subject of minerals, you see. I hail from the snow-capped mountains of the XIV range, where we have naught but rock and snow to gaze upon. To the untrained eye, one stone is much the same as another. But somehow singular essences, which we have learned to identify. My people believe these to be the souls of our forebears, returned to their ancestral home, and we carry them on our person as a form of protection. The XIV range? I've never been, but your words paint a picture well enough. Few in my own continent have traveled so far, to say nothing of travelers from Tyrol. Do you have a map, Shauna? I believe it would do Master Shinyi well if we consulted it. Here. The XIV range. Dominating central Uthard, the mountains mark the border between the Bern and the former kingdom of Dalmasca. My clan is known as the Vina Viera, and their settlements can be found in and around the XIV range. Kugima, my village, is among them. As is common with other Viera clans, the women oversee day-to-day life in Kugima, while the men dwell outside its gates as protectors. The land is harsh and unforgiving, but the knowledge of our ancestors teaches us how to hunt when prey is scarce, and forage when frost kills all but the hardiest plants. In this way we lived until the Garlean Empire rose like a blight upon the earth. Although we were never threatened by them directly, the nations we called neighbors fell one by one to their ambition. Our elders decided to cut off all contact with the outside world, but as time went on, more and more came to realize that such extreme measures were untenable. And so some years back, it was decided that one among us would journey into the outside world to gather the most precious resource of all, knowledge. They must grasp the complex workings of the larger world, attuning themselves to the pulse of modern life until it beats with their own. Then they must return to the village and teach all they have learned.
And he's the one that was chosen for that.
And, you are this person, I take it? My family name, XIV, means cloud. And like a cloud I drift from land to land, eventually returning to my home to provide the nourishing rain of knowledge to my people. I see. That's why you're so eager to learn of the Shitana. From their way of life I hope to extract valuable nuggets of wisdom that will help my own people. When I heard of the Shitana, I imagined how we Viera would live across the sea. How would our long lives play out in a different environment? What sort of society would we build? People so far apart, but so similar. I had to see for myself how you fared. I apologize for speaking so long. Thank you for lending us your map, Shauna.
I can tell you care deeply for your people. You bear a heavy responsibility. Let's go with the first one.
They are my family. Although my path is not an easy one, I would climb even the sheerest cliff for their sake. You really would, wouldn't you? Ah, never mind that. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Ublo. And thank you both for a job well done. I look forward to hiring your services again, Shauna. Shanyi is delighted with your efforts. He now considers you a great gatherer.
Okay, next quest.
It's good to see you, Shauna. Come to see how business is doing? I have finished my work. If you require Shauna's aid, then allow me to help. Of course, I'm grateful to have such an eager worker in my employ, but I must remind you to rest. Even you have a limit, surely. My masters trained me well for my role. An endless journey requires endless vitality, and I was prepared to endure such a trial. Well, I've no reason to mistrust your judgment. But I know how tiring a long journey can be, so don't hesitate to take a constitutional at your leisure. You do? I thought you rarely ventured past the city's gates. Oh, you seem busy. Should I return later? Yoapiota, welcome. Feel free to browse my wares, my employees here shall be glad to help with anything you might require.
Employees? You hired more? 2 more? I hoped against hope that you'd quit this foolish distraction after that old codger retired. Just how many moons do you intend to stay cooped up in this city, playing shopkeep like a child?
If there is anything you wish to order, simply say the word. That is why you're here, isn't it?
You never did listen. Fine. If you insist on keeping this up, then I could use cleansing supplies for the household. You know where to make your delivery.
Is that his sister, mother?
That was my sister. Born of a different mother, but my sister all the same. Among the Shitana, and the Viera where you hail from, I wager, it's not an uncommon circumstance. The gender of my people becomes apparent as we grow. The large majority are women, with men being somewhat of a rarity. Thus we generally do not marry a single partner, as is common with other peoples. Most of us have siblings from different fathers or mothers. But regardless of blood, a customer is a customer. And her order must be fulfilled. A delivery of supplies that our people use to cleanse their homes in the midst of bustling cities. Sprigs of Saka Sage and purifying water from the Nyaquarapai. I'm completely out of both, so I'm tasking you with journeying to Shiloani and gathering whichever best suits your skills. I shall go, too, and bring back what Shana cannot.
Okay. And ish.
Shana, I have good news. That customer who bought our spare Wachumeqimeqi has been telling all and sundry what a treat they are. Business for the fancies is, well, not boomin', per se, but much better than usual. I'm glad my culinary techniques could be of any small help. Thanks to the two of you, my dream feels within my reach, and my training proceeds apace. Speaking of, what's next on your fish list? Surely you'll need a few more flippers to guarantee your goals. The next mark in my rite of passage is a gigantic crocodile of inordinate strength. Nothing short of a massive fish will stand a chance, I'd wager. Like that one. The Corporarica. A discerning eye you've got there, lad. Those beauties are the svelte swimmers of Urkopisha, packing 10 tons of fish power for every ounce of flesh. Pelopila fishers are known to throw their rods should they hook one, unless they thirst for a swim downstream. I'd offer you that fellow in the tank, but he's the face of fish fancies Donuhanu. Of all our offerings, Corporarica sells surprisingly well, likely due to its sheer volume. But Shana here will catch you another one, a bigger one. The fisher who snagged that big boy from Carvarher the first said it went wild for honeybees. Someone with your arm should have no problems reeling in a few. Probably. You know how to swim, right? Just in case.
Okay. So let's see, that one is over in Urkopacha. Yep, it's all the way over there. I should be able to just go up this way. Should be able to catch it over here as well. And we're just gonna catch some. That one took a little bit longer. Is this maybe the right one? Yep. what the hell is going on with me right now, but all of a sudden I feel way more tired than I usually would at this time. I wonder if it's because of the tea. Because that is kind of a thing that I have slightly noticed sometimes, is that if I decide to drink tea and I'm not doing something that is like stimulating enough for my brain, I sometimes get like really fucking tired all of a sudden. Let's see, I have also heard some stuff about caffeine sometimes having like an somewhat different effect on some people, at least. Like where it doesn't necessarily make them wake, but actually makes them more tired. I don't know how accurate that is though, but it's something that I've heard about before. But yeah, don't really know how accurate that is though. I think I accidentally pulled the fish in there because of my tiredness. I think I basically like heard sort of a phantom sound of a fish basically biting, and then I just instinctively like clicked. There we go. Okay, that's 6 of those. At least this isn't that far from a fast travel point. I was hoping that it would do that before. Okay, just need one more. Okay, that's all of them again. I think it might be understandable why I would have preferred to just collect all of this stuff before actually starting on the whole process today. But yeah, game didn't really want me to do that.
Hauling in a fish the size of your own body is a fisher's fantasy, isn't it? Pack your bee bag, and go and pull us some Corporaraku from around Carvarher the First.
Okay, yep, I'm gonna
Massive and
overcap.
monstrous. Just as good Corporaraku ought to be. Excellent work, Shauna. Now this is the sort of Corporaraku you need, passionine. Smooth, shiny, and enormous. Are you really planning to eat all of it? Of course. My development demands it. Only by partaking of a fish in its entirety might I come to understand its energies. This applies doubly so for fish of such prodigious body mass. Despite its size, however, I can tell its meat has a mild flavor. A sauce of aromatic herbs should pair well, and I dare say the head will have plenty of fat to lend a savory taste. You can tell all that with just a look. Now that's lovin' thy fish. But old Donuhanu won't be outdone. I'll learn your recipe and pass it on to everyone who buys a Corporaraku. Just wait till the Pelapila get a taste of those aromatic herbs, they might start keeping a firmer grip on their rods. It is my hope that by creating a delicious dish, I might pay respect to the life of which I partake. Preparing and eating this fish will take some time. If you need me, I shall be in your kitchen, Donuhanu. And once I have finished, I should be prepared for my ride. Donuhanu is overjoyed with your efforts. He now considers you a fortitudinous fish finder. A new quest continuing the story.
Yeah, new quest available. We'll look at that once we have delivered more stuff, but first I need to spend spend scripts. Okay. Jesus Christ, I can just feel the tiredness getting worse and worse. I don't think it helped that I had that what was that 30-minute talk with my dad?
Apologies about my sister's less than friendly attitude. Nevertheless, she has made an order, and it's our duty to fulfill it. Excellent work, Shauna. Although I shouldn't be surprised. I admit I'm half tempted to keep this delivery for myself, but alas. Uvlo should return soon, and then we can get everything together to send to my sister. Everything seems to be in order, and all to my standards. Thank you both once again. You said these cleanse your homes. How, exactly? Do they keep insects away? Or perhaps they keep the floors clean? Indeed, they do serve such purposes, but more importantly, they're essential to upholding Shitana customs. Even among those of us living in cities, keeping in harmony with nature is of the utmost importance. All things breathe the energy of life. The earth and sea, the rivers and forest, the rain, wind, and sun. Every animal that walks, swims, or flies is beholden to this energy. By attuning ourselves to its flow and availing ourselves of its blessing, we become a part of it and thus, a part of every living thing under the heavens. And so, when we choose a place to live, we do our best to keep things as they are. We fell trees only when absolutely necessary, or else live in the natural shelter of caves. Some of our small settlements even make use of buildings abandoned by other peoples. Of course, the Shitana are not a monolith, and since the Dawn Servant unified to rule, many have come to hold different values to their ancestors. Nowadays, Shitana are not an uncommon sight even in a metropolis like Tulialal. Some even consider embracing change to be a part of nature's flow. However, no small number of city-dwelling Shitana feel an almost unbearable sense of suffocation when inside cramped buildings. I see. I suppose these supplies are a way of allowing nature's blessing into your homes and maintaining your connection to its cycle. Exactly. Saka sage is native to the wilderness of Shiloani and is purported to be closely linked to the greater power flowing around us, which lends it potent cleansing properties. The Nyakwarapai feeds into several bodies of water, Lake Toari among them. Such water passes through countless valleys and under vast reaches of sky, and connects us to that unfathomable journey. Uopiota lived near those waters for some time, in fact. After her children set off on their own journeys, she settled down in Tulialal with a new family. But she still maintains a strong connection to the natural energies she was once surrounded by. So we'd best not keep her waiting, I would go myself, but I've had enough of her scoldings for one day. Could you go in my stead, Shauna? You can expect a satisfactory reward for your troubles, I promise.
Guessing that might be the next quest.
Shinyi is overjoyed with your efforts. He now considers you a gifted gatherer. A new quest continue.
New quest. Cycle of Life. Get some to the Turali Pineapple Pons Cake.
I've finished putting together Uopiota's delivery. Please be careful with it. She lives in the Resplendent Quarter. Here, I've marked it on your map. Master Shinyi, I would go along with Shauna, with your permission. Consider it a diversion from my work. You have been urging me to take time to relax. You have a strange idea of relaxation, but I see no reason to object. Very well, you both can deliver this package to my sister. Apologies for the imposition, Shauna. Let us depart at once.
Okay, and might as well grab this one at the same time.
The time's finally come, Ed. Are you nervous about your trials? The prospect of testing my skills in battle is daunting, but so I must if I am to prove my worth as a Waleki. Besides, I carry with me more than phantasms of the aquatic. Your wisdom and Shauna's tenacity will also steer me true. In keeping with Waleki tradition, one of my brethren will witness my rite of passage. It is a hunt that will take me across the land, but my final stop will be in Uyuyub. I would be honored if you would come and meet me there, that you might see what I have accomplished. The honor would be all ours, Passionine. Shauna will go on ahead while I close up here. Good luck.
Okay. So go there and go. There's a astral point.
Oh, you two. I saw you at my brother's shop, yes? I take it he asked you to deliver my order.
Yep. This package contains everything a Shetona needs to maintain their connection with nature, even in the middle of a bustling city.
Yes, everything's here. I must say, these materials are of higher quality than I've come to expect. My brother has had a good stroke of fortune with you too, it seems. I apologize for my conduct before. It was unbecoming of me, and I hope to make amends. But above all, please help my brother succeed in his endeavors.
You appeared rather unsupportive earlier. I was under the impression you wished he would quit his shop and leave the city. Why? Surely life here is not so terrible a prospect.
I thought there was something different about you. You don't hail from Tyrol, do you? My people value living in harmony with nature above all, and settle only where that harmony won't be disrupted. In small villages, usually. They are built and maintained by our women. The men travel from village to village, fostering our bonds with one another. Our families are built upon the relationship between parent and child. When a child is born, their mother and father become inextricably bound to each other as well. Mothers live with their children until they become independent, while fathers continue to travel. As the seasons turn, the men visit their families in each village they pass through. Although their time together is fleeting, it's always precious. We talk until the small hours of the morning, sharing all that has happened since last we met. The fathers tell us how the other villages fare, and it makes our small settlements feel so much larger. Although there is no one place we can point to as the home of the Shitana, we are connected in this way like the roots of a great tree.
Fascinating. We Viero lead such different lives? Yet even so, there are shades of similarity. I take it Shinyi did not always live in Tulialal, then.
He used to travel the land, as well. The bond with his first family was formed in a small village to the north, among the tall mountains. Yet not long after his departure one season, the village was suddenly destroyed. None survived. No one knows exactly what happened. But those who saw the aftermath said that nothing but scarred and scorched earth remained. A terrible sight. Since that day, Shinyi ceased to travel. For 50 years he's lived in this city, all alone.
Damn.
50 years? That means... How many winters has Shinyi seen, exactly?
He was born shortly after the formation of Tulialal, so that would make him 80 or so, I suppose.
80. All this time I have been a fool. His nature is so amiable, I thought him to be the same age as I. How could he forgive my utter rudeness? Prying into his past without paying him the proper respects. I must apologize. To save my honor, and my life.
How old are you, Uvlo? Come down, it can't be that bad. How old are you?
I have seen but 32 winters. A babe compared to Shenyi. Vieira men must pay the utmost respect to their elders. Those who forget this do not live to become an elder themselves. I must make amends with Shenyi. You are his sister, please, tell me what I can give him.
I don't think Shenyi cares, but you seem quite insistent, so, perhaps something he could sell in his apothecary? A Pelopilo friend of mine told me that in the highlands of Urkopisha one can find many rare plants and minerals. Flowers that bloom but once in many moons, emeralds with enchanting patterns, and more besides.
A brilliant idea. I shall depart to Urkopisha at once and collect the finest items I can. Shauna, I must request your aid. Although the burden of shame is solely mine to bear, I fear that I alone cannot gather enough items to make up for the magnitude of my disrespect. Will you agree? Please, you would be my savior. Thank you, Shauna. I shall leave at once. Let us meet again at the apothecary to deliver my offering.
Okay. So I would have to go there. Might as well just go and do the fishing step as well while we're at it. Holy shit, this is taking forever to load. Game? PC? Can you load? Hello? Can you load? Jesus fucking Christ. Did you freeze up, game, or what? Thank you. Holy shit, that took forever. That was almost like 1 to 2 minutes of just pure loading. Like that's kind of insane. I should honestly really get around to seeing if there's a PC that I could buy like somewhat soon, just so I can stop using this almost 10-year-old PC that I'm using.
We must be early. Hunting is time-consuming work even by traditional means. Might take a tad longer when you're fighting with fish. You made it? I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. A gargantuan toad punctured by king puffers, a mighty tortoise shattered by Wachumeqimeqis, and a behemoth crocodile crushed by Korporaraku. My comrade bore witness to both my hunt and the passing of these noble beasts. They will be conveyed to our village, whereupon they shall receive proper burial rites. So you're headed home, then? Past your rite of passage with flying colors, as we knew you would. Not yet. There is another beast I must defeat before I can be accepted as a true Wachumeqimeqi. Greater and deadlier than the rest combined, a carnivorous tree with the body of a beast. I know I ought to have told you sooner, but I'm afraid I have no idea how to slay it. Surely even fish have their limits. Now listen here, Passionine. I don't know what your people expect of you, but I've seen how dedicated you are to your craft, and there's nothing the right fish can't do. So old Donuhanu will get you that fish. In fact, just the other day I heard from a XBRAAL trader that something strange and dangerous is lurking in the cenotes of the Jatayaka heartlands. Leave this one to me, Shauna. I was a bit of a fisher in my youth. I think I can handle one simple catch. But didn't you just say it was dangerous? I'm going after him.
Passionine has always struggled with our people's arts, but few Waleki rival him in persistence. There was a time he felt ashamed of his limitations, but the young man I saw today was confident in his abilities. I imagine we have you and the feathered fellow to thank for that. Speaking of which, you ought to follow him to Yaktl. There's no telling what sort of danger lurks in those cenotes, and I wouldn't put it past Passionine to attempt something noble but reckless.
Okay. We will go and help them. Get some Amuk. That was significantly faster to load. Like you or someone beat up.
I was a fool. I thought I had it, but my line snapped and sent me reeling like some green fisher. But there was no mistaking what I saw. There's a shark in these cenotes. Must have drifted here from the salt by way of underground channels. It was already angry when I met it, and having my hook in its mouth can't be improving its mood. You've got to catch it, Shauna, both to help Passionine and maintain public safety. I used honeybees to lure it from the depths, and it can't have gone far. Hurry, before it cracks the hip of another foolish fishmonger.
Guess we'll do that right away. I don't think this one needs to be a collectible. Since it's, I think it just needs to be a normal fish. Also, very long bite. There we go. This enormous creature commutes between Cenote and ocean every day to support its loving family, or at least it did.
You're back. Did you get that piece of carp? I knew at first tug that it wasn't an ordinary fish, but this defies imagination. If I had a cap, I'd doff it, Shauna. You're a phenomenal fisher. A fish of this size and strength may be exactly what I need to defeat that carnivorous tree. What luck. Finding one of these in open ocean would have been a trying task. But now, you've got everything you need to face your final challenge. Anyway, we can talk more back at the fancies. A man needs to be surrounded by his favorite fish if he's to make a full recovery. Oof.
Okay. So Wooler's Echo to catch or to gather the Other item? Okay. That was easy. Guess back to the Yolal.
Home at last. But at least now Passionine is ready. The speed and strength of one of the ocean's deadliest predators will serve you well. Only, you'd best make a meal of it soon. Nothing's quite so stinky as a slain shark. Before I do, I must know something. That a shop dealing in rare and unusual fish should even exist feels miraculous to me. Like an answer to all my prayers. Yet you have far exceeded the demands of a fishmonger to assist me, even to the point of personal injury. Why? Hee hee. Well, it's a bit embarrassing to put into words, lad. But like I told Shauna earlier, these fish, these big, small, strange, ugly, fancy fish, are my passion. I'll never tire of seeing what sorts of bizarre creatures are swimming around out there. But where I see beauty, some folks see danger. What I consider fascinating, others consider a nuisance. When something like a cenote shark floats into a populated area, more likely than not it gets exterminated on principle. Unusual catches get discarded as worthless all the time. Their worth is dismissed simply because they're different. And that ruffles my feathers. It's our responsibility as fish lovers to honor our catches, each and every one. Only, it takes more than simply loving a fish to convince others of its value. It takes a deep understanding of everything that fish has to offer. And that, I learned from you, Passionine. You're the reason fish fancies Donuhanu might one day become the shop that gives odd fish a place in markets everywhere. So don't you worry yourself about old Donuhanu, lad. Keep your eyes on getting through that rite of passage like the proud Wachumeqimeqi you're destined to be. Now go on and eat up. That beastly tree isn't going to topple itself. Thank you. I won't let you down. When Passionine's due to return, I'll let you know. Thanks, Shauna.
Okay. He is laying down.
Welcome back, Shauna. Ublo told me about everything, most emphatically, I might add. There's much I would say on the matter, but as I'm taken to understand that you've brought me a gift, I would happily receive it from you first.
Okay.
My word. Ublo's gift alone left me speechless. This is surely more than I deserve. Materials of this quality can only be gathered by truly skilled hands. I'm grateful, you can be sure. All is forgiven, Ublo. In fact, there's nothing for me to forgive. As Yowapiota told you, my people live with their mothers until they come of age. From her, they learn all the skills and knowledge they need to flourish, without any strict hierarchy among the men. While I appreciate your gesture, I would be much obliged if we could continue on as we have been. Well. As you wish, Master Shenyi. I'm glad we've reached an understanding. Now, let's get back to work, shall we? Before that, regardless of whether or not I owe you respect, I still pried into your past only to sate my own curiosity. And for that, I am deeply sorry. There's no need. It wasn't as if I meant to keep it a secret. So let me clear the air. What Yowapiota told you was true. My travels ended 50 years ago, after I lost my family. To us, death isn't something to be mourned. It's merely another part of the cycle of life. I should have carried on, and found a new family in a new village. But I couldn't. Not while the cause of my family's death remained a mystery. Do you truly know nothing? The complete destruction of a settlement, even a small one, surely would not have gone unnoticed. I think you underestimate how small. You could count the number of houses on one hand. To reach the nearest proper village we had to traverse 2 towering mountains. Few could have witnessed the incident. The scale of destruction was too great for bandits. Many have suggested that Atural Vidral was to blame. I was lodging in the aforementioned village when the tidings reached me. A few days prior, a streak of light had scarred the skies, so bright that it was clearly visible even in daytime. It disappeared behind the mountain peaks, and soon after the earth trembled. The trees and mountains shook, and wind bore dust through the valleys.
That kind of does sound like a meteor. As magic's called a start down from the heavens. Sounds like a meteor.
That was the conclusion I reached, as well. A meteor from the heavens struck my family's home by pure chance. Anyway, it's only a theory. You would think the evidence of such a tragedy would be more definitive, but it hasn't quite been that easy. Wait a moment, please. What is this? Stones like this were found scattered about in the ruins, as if the heavens themselves wept to see the devastation. I've taken to calling them azure tears. Having been in this business for so long, I can hazard a guess as to their true nature. And I believe that proof of what befell my family must lie within these fragments. Even so, decisive evidence continues to elude me. Then again, perhaps my desire for answers causes me to see connections where there are none. but even if I wanted to, I can't let it go.
We're gonna help solve it, I'm guessing. Okay, digging up the truth.
Welcome back to my apothecary, Shauna. I always appreciate you stopping by. We're busy as ever, as you can see. Although since last we met, Ublo has been acting strangely. He brushes off all my attempts to help and works with a singular focus. I think he still believes he crossed a line in asking about my past, and is focusing his efforts more than usual to make up for his perceived affront. All of which is to say, I've no work for you today. Well, if our tasks for the day are done, I think we should try to unravel the nature of these azure tears you found. Aha, I understand now. You squared away today's work so quickly because you had hoped to employ Shauna's energies on the tears. Not exactly. Yet I admit the thought did occur to me. I have found it difficult to think of aught else as of late. What could those stones possibly be? Truth be told, I can scarce imagine how we might prove they are connected to a meteor. As difficult as it is for me to admit, Master Shenyi, your theory remains just that. Yet if we were to find similar crystals at another location where meteors had fallen, what then? Would that not provide sufficient evidence that the two phenomena are related? I don't think you'll find anything. I've asked all who would listen if they've seen anything resembling the tears. But even the most worldly of my connections say they are quite singular. Perhaps they are the only objects of their kind in this world. In that case, they would be rarer than any precious jewel. I believe your inability to find any information on them gives us all the more reason to look. Shauna and I have yet to search for them, after all. And you know our skill at finding the rarest of specimens.
Can't give up yet. I want to know the truth. Might as well try. Might as well try.
You, too.
I think there's no harm in trying at least.
Very well, but I'll only make this imposition on you once. You've done enough for me already. Now, there are several locations in Tyrol where meteorites have fallen in the past. The Cydros crater is purported to be the largest by scholars who study such phenomena. However, over the years nature has healed the scar left behind. Soil has accumulated, and trees have taken root. Now the area is known as XIV. But I doubt a little earth and wood can deter you. Somewhere under all that wildlife, you may find material that has lain there since the meteors struck. If you find something that resembles the tears, then we may be able to solidify a theory of what transpired 50 years ago. We'll know they came from a meteorite, at least. Well then, let us waste no time. Off to XIV we go.
Okay. And grab the Fisher quest as well. Catching breath.
Any moment now and Passionine should be back with news. There he is, ahoy. Passionine, the fearless fish fighter. Pray, do not call me fearless, Donuhanuk. I fled from that vile carnivorous tree, and come here now in disgrace. My brethren reassured me that I may undertake the trial again, but I cannot for the life of me imagine what fish might fell the dread beast. It cast aside the cenote shark as though it were a mere minnow. There, lad. We'll find you another fish, Never you fear. In the meantime, let's get something in your belly, Nothing lifts the spirits like a fancy feast. Say, Shauna, do you have a permit to travel into Zakturul?
I do.
Excellent. There's a fascinating fish in Chiloani that's said to refresh and rejuvenate. Nothing better to perk up our pal Passionine, I'd say. Do you mean the raging Hanu, Ed? The very same. You're familiar with Old Madhead, then. I've never seen one in person, but I've heard they resemble Hanu, and that they migrate from the water into the sky upon maturity. An indomitable fish, a fish of substance. We need 6 of them, Shauna. Cross the bridge to Chiloani and cast your line into eastbound Zorger. And don't forget dragonflies for your bait. We're counting on you.
I do believe we can use... according to the console games wiki, it says to use cactuar jigs. Guessing the cactuars should work. Yep, picked up in sky fishing. Which I believe this should count as. Is that gonna be one of them? Nope. I'm going to check something here. Just going to head over to Team Craft. Okay, what does that say about this? Okay, should have around a, I believe, 25% chance of it being that one that's gonna show up. That is a medium tug fish. Okay. And it appears from around 10 seconds into 27. Might have to actually use some of the skills for this one. Okay, so catch this one, slap. And then I guess just hope for a double. Well, at least I don't lose identical cast. Okay, yep, 2 more. That'd be another one. Oh, nice. Alright, let me also just quickly extract materia. the earth fragment. So I can get 4 from this one. And I got everything. Nice.
What could be better than having a fish twin? Toss a dragonfly or 2 into eastbound Zorger and reel us in some Raging Hanu Eds, Shauna.
There we go. Did I get any? I got 1 fish. It seems that was enough collectability to get the max amount.
And scaled. In all my years of Mong Aaron fish, I've never seen a finer fellow than the Raging Hanu Ed. Remarkably rotund. Yes, a fine resemblance indeed. I first heard about the Raging Hanu Ed from a traveling Pelopila merchant. In virtue of our close ties to nature, we Wachumeqimeqi are always keen to hear of new and unusual creatures, you see. Apparently, their eggs are laid in freshwater lakes, but once hatchlings reach maturity, they leap into the clouds by way of the waterspouts created by hell snow sharks. At first I thought it odd that a Wachumeqimeqi fish was named for a Wachumeqimeqi peoples. But perhaps a traveler like that merchant found its shape reminiscent of a people who left an unforgettable impression, and so fondly named the creature. Be it of Wachumeqimeqi or Wachumeqimeqi, that's a fish that'll soothe your spirits and strengthen your resolve. I'll leave the cooking to you, Passionine, though don't mind me studying your technique as you do. If there's a trick to making heavenly catches even heavenlier, our customers need to know. Let's have ourselves a ragin' feast, Dubiously cannibalistic though it may be. Would you care for a serving of Raging Hanu Ed, Shauna?
Light me up, I'm intrigued. I just ate, maybe next time. Nah, I'm intrigued.
Understood. I'll get straight to work. Here we are. Raging Hanu Ed soup. Delicious. Disturbingly delicious. The meat had a fluffier texture than I imagined. A result of its aerial habitat, perhaps. Without a doubt, happy is the man who sups on fresh catches, even if they do look slightly like him. Thanks for fetching us the street, Shauna. Now that Passionine's got color in his cheeks, we can see about fishing for his final challenge. Old Donuhanu's just got to give it a good think, and he'll be sure to come up with something. Donuhanu is thrilled with your efforts. He now considers you a phenomenal fish finder.
So what was that food that I just got? Nasi goreng. Cold leftover rice stir fried with shrimp and spices until steaming hot, then garnished with an egg on top. Is that actually a proper dish? There is apparently something called, I think it's mie goreng, which is an Indonesian stir fry, but that's with noodles apparently. But it does also sometimes use prawn, it seems, so it might have been inspired from that. Oh, actually, if it's nasi goreng, then it is. Okay. Yeah. Southeast Asian rice dish with piece of meat and vegetable added. Can refer simply to fried, pre-cooked rice, including stir-fried rice and a small amount of cooking oil or something. Okay. Huh. Apparently it's also sometimes called Indonesian fried rice. Didn't know about that food. That dish. So interesting.
I'm sorry that you got roped into this, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you can find all the same. What we seek is most likely in XIV, you'll have to dig deep, but I know you're equal to the task.
Okay, so that is the ancient mud sand found in the Zezudros crater has solidified into stone-like fragments, which may contain fragments or traces of materials left behind in the meteorite impact.
Amazing. This is plainly composed of materials entirely different to those found on the surface of XIV. Much more dense, much older. And shaped so beautifully, besides. You've done well, Shauna. With both your and Oblo's samples, we may be able to reach a conclusion at last. Did you discover aught? Well, I was able to detect small fragments of a deep blue substance. And when I shined a light on it, its color did indeed resemble the tears. But even so, there wasn't enough. As far as my abilities can discern, there's no way to say for certain that the two substances are one and the same. I see. Yet you admit a possibility that they might be related. These are good tidings. We simply need to keep digging, and eventually we will find a sample large enough to give us a definite conclusion. I did not expect this journey to be finished after just one outing. I shall return to XIV as many times as it takes. Why must you do this to yourself, Oblo? You needn't feel obligated to help me resolve this personal matter. At the end of the day, it won't teach you any more about the Shitana. You are correct. I admit that digging deep into the soil is not a task that will help my people thrive. Yet hearing Uopiota speak with such affection about her family, and seeing you suffer so deeply from the loss of your own, I came to a realization. Though we may call ourselves by different names, both of our peoples cherish family above all. If my village suffered the same fate as yours, I would not rest until I found the cause. I could not suffer to live with myself otherwise. And I know you feel the same. That is why you still have the tears, even though they hold naught but painful memories. Before, you said that your long years running this shop allowed you to guess that the stones were related to your tragedy. But I know that deep down, you started this apothecary because you knew it would bring you closer to an answer. As your employee, it is only meet that I should help you achieve this goal. Allow me to help you, Master Shenyi. So reckless you are in your own journey, but so diligent in helping me along in mine. I hope you've at least managed to save a handful of coins since coming here. If we're going forward with this, I must ask that you spare XIV future digging. I wouldn't sacrifice the region's natural beauty in my quest, nor damage another's home. There has to be a different way, but I shall require time to find it. When I do, I only ask that you be there to help, Shauna. Can I count on you?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Thank you, truly. I'll have to sell a good portion of my stock to pay back the debt I'll owe you after all is said and done. Shenyi is thrilled with your efforts. He now considers you a glorious gatherer.
Okay, and this should be last quest, I'm guessing.
You're here just in time, Shauna. I would seek counsel from my best gatherers. Ublo, a moment, if you will. Before we begin, I would once again like to offer my thanks. What you brought back from XIV was more than I could have imagined. Even so, our efforts were lacking. We still have yet to identify the origins of the tears. Have you thought of where we might go next? In a manner of speaking, I suppose. But I must warn you, I can't say for certain we'll find anything. Most of my knowledge of the tears comes from stories I've heard from fellow merchants. In fact, it was a merchant from XIV who suggested XIV as a place of inquiry, given its history with meteorites. We often exchanged information as well as goods. And although that lead ultimately bore no fruit, looking back, I believe my mistake was relying solely on incomplete information.
The merchant mislead you? You need a perspective from Mamuk to complete the whole picture. They mislead you?
No, nothing like that. On the contrary, I believe he was more than forthcoming with what he knew. Quite clever, that one. But he was of the XBRAAL, and as such may not have been privy to information from Mamuk. Although the two tribes are now at peace, their history is one of conflict. Even if the merchant hadn't been one of their ancestral enemies, the Mamuljaye who populate Mamuk are known to be wary of outsiders. I understand times have changed in that respect, but I wonder how realistic it would be to try and seek information in Mamuk. You've been there before? Of course. We've been working together for so long, I almost forgot about your storied history. Obviously the right of succession brought you to every corner of Turul. Then I would give you this task, Shauna, go to Mamuk and speak with the people there. Perhaps someone has seen something that resembles the tears. You should accompany her. I can manage the shop well enough in your absence. That is kind of you, truly. But if you're even half as good at gathering information as you are at gathering materials, then your talents would be wasted here. Please, go with Shauna. I shall remain here and await your gift of good tidings. You can be sure of it? Then let us depart for Mamuk.
Okay, and get the vision quest. Odd Fish Odyssey.
Hey, Shauna. You surprised me. I'm feeling much improved in both body and spirit thanks to you both. I'm glad to hear it, lad. Ready to take on your trial again? Then we need to find you a fish among fish, with fins that can cut that carnivorous tree to timber. When my cenote shark failed to evoke so much as a flinch, I tried unleashing every fish at my disposal. I think I only irritated it. We might need a fresh perspective then. Shauna, what think you of this conundrum?
Sounds like brute fish alone isn't going to work. He can do it, he just has to believe that. It's not gonna work with just brute fish.
That's a fair point, lass. We've been chosen based on might, but there are plenty of ways for a fish to finish first. For instance, in Yasula, heritage found, was it? They say lightning energies are thick in the air. Any fish that thrives in such a habitat should be brimming with power, the power to paralyze even the sturdiest beast. Are you up for the journey, Shauna?
Yep.
Of course you are, you're an ally to all things aquatic. Now, I don't know the area half as well as a local, so once you arrive up north, ask around. We're looking for big, bad, and shockin'. Then I will continue training in the meantime. When I face that monster again, it will know the true fury of my piscatory phantoms. Those in the outskirts in Heritage Found should know plenty about their local fauna. Ask around and see what you can discover.
Okay. Let me actually go and check what bait was it that I needed for that one. Popper lure or versatile lure. Okay. I think I should have some popper lures. Yep. More than plenty. Actually, outskirts I need to go to.
Sorry, but I work in agriculture. I wouldn't know the first thing about fish, electric or otherwise. Did you try the submerged skyline? Where there's water, I'd wager there's fish.
Lightning aspect fish? Well, you've come to the right place. I can't remember where, exactly, but I once saw a dorsal fin that was crackling with energy. Got shivers just looking at it?
Oh, there they are.
Not many come in search of our fool Misturgeons, fewer still leave with one. Find yourself a popper and drop your line in the submerged skyline. The fool Misturgeon developed an ability to store electrical energies within its body, so take care when handling it. If you're lucky enough to hook one, that is.
Okay. There's the submerged skyline. Still kind of wish that giant just orb of like lightning was actually used for something. It never got used for anything. This should work. Oh, an A rank. At least I assume that's an A rank. So otherwise I feel like I would see a lot of people around here. Nice.
We are here. I suppose now we split up and speak with whomever we see. You disagree? Ah, yes, Master Shinyi did mention the Mamul Ja here are wary of outsiders. Then you take the lead, Shauna. I shall follow and learn. Ublo is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Ublo behind by if you wish.
Okay, got a few stolen locations.
I was taken to understand that Mamuk was a rather isolated settlement, yet an Etherite stands at its entrance. It makes me wonder whether one could be built in my village. Ah, 'tis a thought best forgotten. I hear the cost of maintaining an etherite is quite exorbitant. Every day I spend in the outside world, I realize more and more how it revolves around money. Oh, I recognize you. You were with Bakul Jaja, weren't you? What business do you have with one such as me? A crystallized stone, shaped like a teardrop? I can't say I've seen such a thing. If I had, I'm sure I would have remembered it. Do you think I remember every single rock I lay eyes on? That's the one thing we don't have any shortage of around here. Maybe if rocks could fill a hungry belly, I'd pay more attention to them. But they can't, so I don't. Now leave me be.
Okay. It's outside here.
Can't you see I'm resting? Why are you asking me about crystals? Just take a few steps into the wilderness and you'll practically trip over them. What do you mean that's not what you're looking for? And why do you think I care? I cannot say I have ever seen statues quite like these before. I take it these designs are meant to evoke a Mamulja's head. Of course, I understand the desire to immortalize one's forebears with stone objects. My people do much the same. Yet to build structures of stones in the middle of such lush forests. No matter how many times I see it, I always find it peculiar.
Is it in here? Yep.
Why, isn't this an interesting line of inquiry? Yaktl was once rich with ores of all hues, but I've never heard of one shaped like a teardrop. It would take a skilled artisan to make a shape like that. Perhaps, if some force were applied to the ore right at the moment of crystallization. Or perhaps if tears themselves were crystallized. But those are only idle thoughts. Either way, I've never seen such a thing with my own eyes. So, what have we learned? Not much of use, from where I stand. Shauna, if you will? I would suggest we approach our questioning from a different angle. If we can say one thing for certain, it is that the stone is rare indeed. So instead of seeking it outright, perhaps we should first seek someone who collects such objects. Good, then we are decided. Let us not lose heart yet.
Is this gonna be still about the statues? Yeah.
A collector of rare stones and plants, you say? Yes. I do recall the young Gosal Ja mentioning his grandfather had quite the collection. He used to bring back all sorts of bits and bobs back from his reconnoiters. I admit it's been quite a while since I've spoken to Gosal Ja, so I cannot say whether he's held on to his grandfather's belongings.
Okay.
A gatherer? In Mamuk? A friend of mine had a particular knack for it. Every time he came back from a scouting mission, he would have some rare specimen in his hands. It was a nice way to earn some extra coin. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but his grandson works at Galmagiac Grove, and I hear is a deft hand himself. The boy's name was Ed. That story sounded very familiar. I believe this Gosalja's grandfather may be the very collector we seek. Or may have been, rather. Still, the obvious course of action is to speak with Gosalja and see if he still possesses any of his grandfather's belongings. Let us depart to Wachumeqimeqi Grove.
Okay, off we go. Oh, there's a little chat spot along the way.
Everywhere we are surrounded by trees of unimaginable height. I feel so small in comparison. The clan of Vieira, known as the Rava, who dwell within the Galmari jungle, would likely be unmoved by such a sight. Instead, their eyes would seek out places where their natural complexion would allow them to blend into the surrounding foliage. By contrast, the Vieira of my tribe are more suited to camouflaging themselves among the snow-capped mountain tops. Still, the fauna of this place does have a unique coloring. Perhaps I could disguise myself if I so desired. Would you turn around for a moment, Shauna?
Okay, can't go in there. There they are.
Oh, hello. Did you need something from me? You are Gosalja, yes. Grandson of a renowned collector, as we have heard. I am, and my grandfather was indeed fond of showing off his collection. But how in the world did you know that? Well, that explains everything. Still, this is quite an unexpected visit. And we thank you for indulging us. So, did your grandsire's collection contain anything that might resemble the stones we told you about? Yes. Your description made me recall one of my favorites, in fact. I'm sad to say I lost it when I was a child, though. But my memory of it is crystal clear. I see. Unfortunately, a memory is not enough for us to judge whether the two are related. I may know where he found it. As you heard, my grandfather served as a scout when the Wachumeqimeqi and XIV were at war. He was known as a swimmer without equal and used the cenotes to travel to every corner of the forest unnoticed. Cenotes. Those are the springs which dot the forest, correct? Are you saying they connect somehow? Yes, a network of tunnels runs under the earth. One can travel the width and breadth of the forest, if you know where to go, that is. I remember my grandfather said he found the crystal on a mission to XIV. It was lying there on the cenote floor, as if waiting for him. It's likely that he found it in XIV, where the waters once ran red as blood. The XIV would bury their fallen warriors there, and none expected a scout to be bold enough to trespass. This story has promise. The samples we found before were pulled from deep layers of the earth, formed at a time immediately following the meteorite's impact. There is no telling how far down these tunnels reach, but doubtless they pass through the same layers. Naturally, material from these layers would corrode and settle at the bottom of the cenotes. Yes, this has promise indeed. Gosalja, you have given us direction. Thank you, truly. No, thank you for allowing me to remember my grandfather so fondly. May you find that which you seek. Let us make our way to XIV, Shauna.
All the way up there. Apparently there's been a train in here. What train? Apparently, looks like the train went here, but the things that they were going to be killing the A ranks were apparently not here, it seems.
So, this is XIV. I find it hard to believe that these waters were once stained red with the blood of war. Luckily, the cenote is now clear, and our vision should be unclouded as we search. Or should I say, your vision. This is difficult to confess.
He can't swim.
As you know, I was trained among the snowy mountaintops. You can imagine how poorly I might fare in a body of water. Although it shames me to place this burden on your shoulders, I would rather my soul not join those that were set adrift in the cenote. That is, of course, assuming you possess the skill that I lack.
I mean, can't drown.
Good, good. Thank you, Shauna. I have ever been able to depend on you when I find myself wanting. You shall be the example I strive to emulate in my future travels. I shall stay here and await your safe return. Good luck.
Okay. Go down, there we go. Apparently I hadn't collected one of these.
You made it? You were down there for so long, I began to fear the worst. You must be half fish for how indefatigable your lungs are. So, did you find aught?
Found at the bottom of the XIV soul, so the this tear-shaped fragment of a faint has a faint blue glow.
To the best of my recollection, this looks almost exactly like the stone Master Shenyi had. Its shape, that unmistakable blue. We did it, Shauna. It appears our intuition was correct after all. This crystal is a remnant of a grievous wound dealt to the earth. 'Twas the case in ancient times, and 'twas the case 50 years ago. We must return to Master Shenyi with haste.
Okay, so possibly talk to both of these C's, and then probably get a cutscene, and then it'll finish up, because it seems like both of them aren't done fully yet. They don't have the end icon, so there's going to be something in between.
I'm sorry I can't offer you more guidance this time, lass. But I trust your judgment. Whatever fish you find and catch will be exactly what Passionine needs. I'll make sure my kitchen is ready and waiting for him.
Okay, when faced with shocking changes in its environment, this large freshwater fish became shocking itself.
Now this is an electrifying catch, Shauna. A bolt from the blue. They call it a fool sturgeon, do they? And it adapted to the hardships of its environment by skill and dedication. This is a fish to remember, lass, inspirational. This shall warrant more caution than usual in the kitchen. I've never partaken of a fish so steeped in lightning energies. Already keen on Devo, you're in this odd fish hole. They say you are what you eat, Passionine, but nobody shows it better than you. Ha ha ha. From you, Donuhanu, that is flattery of the highest order. I will gratefully partake of your fish and attempt my trial once more. I hope you will honor me with your presence on the day. This time, I will succeed. There's not a place I'd rather be, lad.
Oh, we're actually gonna watch the fight. I wonder, is it going to be Glower that he uses, or some other spell that we've seen?
I am not the man I was. I have all I need to prevail.
So I'm guessing that by eating the fish, he's able to
Great beast of the
cast certain
wilds, by your
spells.
might may my worth be proven. Denizens of the blue, attend.
Assuming it doesn't summon a fish.
Full force. Fool Sturgeon.
Oh, he actually does.
Great beast of the wilds. I pay homage to your sacrifice. By your might has my worth been tested, and by the fates may it be measured true. Rights will be bestowed upon your body, and by your strength shall I protect our natural world. Remarkable, lad. Well done. Donuhanu, Shauna. This is all thanks to you. I came to you as a frantic novice, begging for a fish with which to prove myself. And now here I stand, a worthy member of my tribe, confident in my command of sharks and sturgeons alike. How can I ever repay you? I'm pondering the same, Passionine. How can I ever repay you for the recipes, for teaching our customers the flavors of fancy fish? Thanks to you, our piscatory pals have a place in the market. Fishers are bringing me all sorts of catches now, finding value where they didn't think to look before. Soon, Fish Fancies Donuhanu won't just be that queer little stall in Wachumeqimeqi, we'll be the preeminent dealer of unusual aquatic specimens from across the continent. A place where even the oddest fish are welcome. So you hold your head high, lad, and take your place as a full-fledged Wachumeqimeqi. You'll always have friends waiting for you in Tulialal.
I was honestly expecting it to be more like, oh, he eats the fish and he is able to use whatever they can do to basically help him. So like, he eats the like puffer fish, he's able to like shoot needles suddenly, like, oh, he's able to use 1,000 needles. But nope, they're just shoots out the fish.
Fish Fancies Donuhanu, she lives, less. She pulls a humble profit. And Passionin's gone and achieved his dreams. You stood by us every step of the way, Shauna. We'd both have been lost without you. I hope you enjoyed your time at the Fancies.
You had me hooked since the start. I have a few new appreciations for the word fancy, that's for sure. Not really. Yeah, hooked from the start.
Is that so? Then remember that Turul is your oyster, and in her waters are all sorts of bizarre pearls, it's just a matter of finding them. Your skill will continue to reel in the big ones, I've little doubt. And Passionin and I will be broadening our repertoire of the unordinary, so I hope you'll come by from time to time and brag about your latest catches. We odd fish have to stick together, after all, and that means you too, Shauna. Like it or not.
Okay, let's go with the gathering one.
Fish Fancies Donuhanu has navigated its way to profitable waters, and Donuhanu could not be happier with your efforts. He now considers you the fanciest fish finder. There are doubtless other.
Nice.
I've never seen you two so excited to bring me a delivery. I take it something good is in store? WH, where did you? Did you really find this in YakTL? But how? You dive to the bottom of a cenote? But the waters are so cold, and the caves so labyrinthine, not to mention a single misplaced stroke would cloud your vision with sediment. Even so, here you are before me, and I'm more grateful for that than anything else. Shanyi's apothecary could ask for none more skilled, none more brave, than you two. I'll start examining this right away. Soon we'll have our answers. You found the impossible. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that this fragment is made of the very same material as the azure tears I found in my ruined home. Have we proven your theory? As to the true nature of those stones, and how your village met its fate. I am now certain that these stones formed much in the same way as obsidian does near volcanoes. When minerals are melted by extreme heat, they cool into glassy lumps. In this case, when the meteor struck, the heat must have not only melted the earth but sent it flying into the heavens. In the air it cooled into the shape of wilted petals. The shape of tears. But they hold something else as well. The meteorite brought instantaneous destruction to the area of its impact. All the plants, animals, and people, gone. Their life force scattered into the air. I see. It is ether which
Oops.
when that energy fails to return to the life stream, it crystallizes. Just so. I believe these are more than mere lumps of glass. The blue light is the shining essence of all that was taken from me. For 50 years I searched, and for 50 years I knew one thing. That answers would never bring them back. And I knew that even if I proved the cause of my tragedy, that revelation would bring no comfort. Even so. The land of Turul wept that day, for all that was lost in an instant. Now that I know that, I can move beyond my sorrow. I can remember my family as they were. Their smiles. Those bright days we shared. Our happiness. Thank you, you too. I feel as if a great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. Within nature's grand cycle, the life I lived back then shall remain a shining beacon. I knew you had not strayed far from your roots. We simply had to help you dig them up again. It may soon be time to depart upon another journey. The first in a long while. Not to find a new family, per se, but to attune myself to nature's rhythm once again. You have brought me pieces of a much greater whole that I would rejoin. I shall let the wind's breath carry me where it will, and so long as the boundless horizon is before me, I shall walk. A worthy goal. Although you may tire of my praise, I'd like to express my thanks to you both once more. You would have been exceptional help if you did nothing more than gather what I asked, but you went far beyond that. Likewise, I learned more of the Shitana than I could have hoped. Yet my own quest is far from over. I would take this opportunity to go out into Turul and experience all it has to offer, the culture of the Shitana included. So if indeed you plan on leaving the city, I ask that you allow me to join you. Besides, a journey is only as good as your companions. Or so they say.
I limit your journey to just Tural.
You pose an interesting question. I can't say I had a particular destination in mind, so a trip across the salt would be as good as any. Perhaps I might find someone to guide me across the world's breadth in exchange for a ramble around Turul. Does anyone suitable spring to mind? Either way, these are decisions to be made in the future. For now, I don't intend to close up shop. Truly. Regardless of my reasons for starting this apothecary, I've become quite fond of it. To say nothing of my loyal customers. Abandoning them without notice would be unseemly. And besides, how long do you believe you can travel with such a light coin purse, Ublo? Sleeping under the stars and foraging for your own food will only take you so far. Soon you'll be penniless, and Turul's less hospitable climes might very well take you. Well, I can. You can stay here and earn a bit more coin before our trek. I would be a terrible owner if I let one of my best workers be so reckless. So, for a while at least, let's continue on as we have been. There's so much more to be done, after all.
Guessing that's going to get wrapped up in the capstone quest or quests. That will be... I'm actually not sure when we're getting that. I don't think it was like at the release of 7.1. I think it was like in the patches. Or...
Shenyi is ready to manage his apothecary with new insight to guide him. He now considers you a genius gatherer.
I think it might be in 7.1. I think 7.1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Don't fully know. But, yeah, nice. Countless catches and countless treasures. Actually, I'm not sure which category was this. Job and role quests. So yeah, that's all of those done. So if I'm not mistaken, all I'm missing is the tank role quest, healer role quest, melee role quest, caster, or maybe that's not caster, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one of these is caster and which one is ranged. But missing just those 5 quests. I think it's 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5. And then all of the capstones for the job quests. Slowly getting there. This did end up taking a lot longer than I expected it to. Purely due to the fact that, yeah, I had to talk with my dad. So maybe it has been like almost 3.5 hours, so I'm thinking maybe we'll end the stream here, because I did manage to get the thing done that I wanted, which there just was complete the Wachumeqimeqi quests, so that yeah, I can basically get started on the capstone quest at least once that releases. I think the next thing that I want to do, which will probably have to be, or rather not the next thing necessarily, but since we're getting the what is it called again? The 7.1 patch on Tuesday. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do any streams like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So I likely won't be able to do a Final Fantasy stream until Friday. The problem is just that if I were to do a stream there, another thing, if I could try and see if I could get work from home, like be allowed to work from home that day, because if I could do that, then I would be able to basically get off work and immediately be home, which would allow me to possibly start the stream the normal time, which would allow me to basically do the MSQ, which is around 4 hours after all. So I'm maybe gonna try and see if I can do that. But yeah, the next 2 Final Fantasy streams I already know what's it's gonna be. It's gonna be do the MSQ in the first one, and in the second stream it's gonna be the what's it called again? The Alliance raid that we're getting. It's just the first part of that series, which is going to be Final Fantasy XI inspired. So yeah, that's the plan there at least. And then we're going to be getting some content throughout the patch. Like every few months we're going to get like one of the smaller patches, which is going to give us some a little bit more stuff to do. Hopefully once we get the full patch, like once the patch has been released, I'll hopefully know what is actually required for the what's it called again, the Alliance Society. I'm actually going to check something here. Let me check the patch notes that were released, because I think it should say when the patch is released. Let's see, or rather when the what do you call it? Society. No, doesn't look like it's actually mentioned specifically. But what I can see is that the location of the Allied Society is going to be over here in Dokpoka, which is apparently also going to be getting a Aetherite. Nice. Yeah, that's going to be the location. And let's see, it doesn't specify or tell us rather what quest we need to do, but considering it is the Hanu Hanu and Pelu Pelu, I'm assuming that I need to do at least some of the quests related to them. From what I can see here, the only requirement for it, or to basically start it, is just having completed Dawn Trail. I don't think that's the only thing. I'm assuming we have to complete some other quests first. But yeah, gonna have to try and unlock that. It will be nice though once we actually get that, since that is a combat Allied Society, so it's gonna allow me to basically get a lot more XP. Let me see here. Try and see if I can figure out some stuff regarding the 7.0 or 7.1 roadmap. Yeah, here's some of the info. So in 7.1 and 7.11, we're getting the MSQ, Extreme Trial, Unreal Trial, Alliance Raid, Ultimate Raid, Allied Society. Okay, we are getting that there. And it is 7.15/0.16, where we are getting the custom delivery, Hildebrand quests, the Wachumeqimeqi quests, and also the capstone for the role quests. So I have until 7.15 at least to try and also complete all the role quests, so we can basically do those quests Possibly at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I want to check out once that patch comes out, because there's also gonna be the new Hall of the Novice that I kind of want to check out. Because apparently the new training that they're going to be introducing is going to be unlocked at level 49. And it's also going to have like a new ring, it seems. So that's going to be interesting. Apparently it's something where the ring we're going to be getting, like the new one, it's going to be something where it's still going to be essentially the same as the level 30 ring, where it's like, hey, when you wear this ring and you're below level 30, you get, what is it called again? You get basically just boosted XP up to level 30. But this ring instead is going to do it up to level, I think, 60, which is actually going to be really nice. The question is then if that ring is actually going to be good up to level 60. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm thinking I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream here, so let me actually just switch over to this. And let's try and see if there is someone that I want to raid. Got a couple of different people. They're all people actually. I could go with Ryuko. Ishiden. How long have you been streaming for? 4 hours. But yeah, he might continue streaming still. I don't know. But yeah, let's raid Ishiden. So yeah, let's see. Next stream from me is probably gonna end up being on Sunday, I'm thinking. It's probably going to be a Terraria stream, since I had a chat with Junjun, my friend, at work here, I think during the start of the week, regarding some of the bosses that I fought against. And he actually suggested possibly switching over to or making a summoner build, since that would technically allow me to have, for one, constant damage against the bosses, but it would also allow me to just constantly just try and dodge, like focus on dodging instead of trying to do any sort of like combat related things, which honestly I can see the benefit of. So yeah, expect possibly a maybe long stream Sunday, I'm not sure. Will kind of depend on how I feel, but I'm hoping to maybe start the stream at around like anywhere between 10 and 12 ish, depending on when I wake up. And yeah, then stream for like at least 4 hours, I'm thinking, maybe 6 hours, depending on when I wake up. Who knows, maybe even 8 hours, although I kind of doubt that. But yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching the stream. Feel like we got a decent amount of stuff done, actually, especially with the whole fact that we got all of the Wachumeqimeqi stuff done now. Kind of wish that I could have done it, like gotten all of this stuff that I had to do, like gathering wise, gotten all of that taken care of, so I could just speed run through it today, but I couldn't do that. I think that was the same problem with the other two that we did. But yeah, can't do anything about that. So yeah, guess we are just gonna go ahead and raid Ishiden. So thank you everyone for watching, and final word Ishiden's stream. See ya.